This is a new generation of passive income investing. In today's video, I'm going to show you an ETF that not many people know about it and not many people talk about it actually. And this is GPIQ. For reference, I'm going to compare this ETF side by side with QQQI, NEOS NASDAQ 100 High Income ETF. A lot of people are familiar with QQQI. So in order for you to understand better what this ETF does, I'm going to show you numbers here. This one is sponsored by Goldman Sachs NASDAQ 100 Core Premium Income ETF, GPIQ, trade on the NASDAQ. And this one also trades on the NASDAQ. Prices are pretty similar. This one is 51.56. This one is 52.06. But what's important is their performance. This one, QQQI, has more asset under management, has accumulated over 5 billion, and this one is less than 3 billion. If we look at 52-week range, this is between 38 to 54, and this is between 41 to 55. But look at the return. The time of comparison is around 2 years and like 2 months. This has returned about 42%. So it has beaten NEOS by far, as NEO has returned only 38.9 or about 39%. Dividends, this one pays a little bit higher dividend. You can see here, this is about 14.15. This one pays less distributions. But even though you're getting less distribution, if you look at performance, this is what matters, you know. But both of these two ETFs do not have NAV erosion. So if you invested in either of them, there's really nothing to measure. Now, let's look at performance chart. And I'm looking, this website here is dripcall.com. And if you look at the red one is GPIQ and QQQI is the green one. If you invested $10,000 end of January 2024, your $10,000 by February 2025, a year after, would have been only 25%. By April 2025 would have gone down, and if you keep investing, then your money today would have been 14,184 for GPIQ, and QQQI would have been 13,894. So you can clearly see here GPIQ has an edge here. And there's more to this ETF I'm going to show you guys. It's very, very good. Now, these are more numbers. You can see dividend you would have collected since invested. It would have been 2,618. With QQQI, it would be 3,424. So you would have gotten more dividends with QQQI, but overall performance is what matters the most, because your capital, your portfolio would have been bigger with GPIQ. Now we know that GPIQ has an edge. We want to dig a little bit deeper to see what this ETF has to offer overall. As I've mentioned earlier, this ETF is managed by Goldman Sachs, and you all know who Goldman Sachs is. Objective 6, current income while maintaining a prospect for capital appreciation. And there are 3 main reasons why you should consider investing in this ETF. Reason number 1 is this ETF aims to generate a consistent monthly distribution rate, generally from option premium and equity dividends. Reason number 2, equity exposure with lower volatility. Provide equity exposure to the NASDAQ 100 index and dynamically sell call options, allowing for participation with rising markets and potential outperformance in negative to flat markets. This tells you that even though the market might be going down, you might make money with this ETF because of the structure that they have. And the third reason you should consider investing in this ETF, diversifying source of income, seeks to deliver attractive income with a lower correlation to traditional income sources and their risks. Here are more fund data. We know the price is 51.74 and total fund asset is closer to 3 billion now. And number of holding is 105 because it tracks the NASDAQ. As you know, NASDAQ 100 has about 100 to 105 stocks, and it was incepted October 24, 2023. ETF style is active because it is actively managed. But the thing I really like about this fund is its fee. If you look at fees and expenses, our gross expense ratio is only 0.35%. So very, very low as compared to other ETFs that have 1%. This is very, very inexpensive to own. And when it comes to performance, I've shown you its performance on the other website, but if you invested $10,000 from the time it was incepted, just this fund here, your $10,000 would have been $16,239. So the other website that I showed you from February 2024, your $10,000 would have been $14,000 because that started in February and this started back in October 2023. There are 3 more months on this chart as compared to the other one I showed you. And that's because I was comparing between this ETF and QQQI. So it has to start at the same time that QQI was incepted. Now let's look at more data on performance. So this is a cumulative returns for this fund. As you can see, market price has returned 65.72 since inception. If you look at just annualized return, this ETF has returned 25% per year. That's beating the S&P 500 by far. Very impressive, guys. The last thing here is distribution history. Most people watching these videos are probably interested with distributions that this fund offers. And if you look at how much they've been paying, it's pretty consistent. You know, if we go back to May of 2025, they did pay around 38 and increased to 41, 44, 45, 47, 46, 46. So it has increased its distributions, and the last distribution paid was January 8th because they do pay monthly, and the last distribution was about 46 cents per share. Again, this fund doesn't offer huge yield as other income ETFs. Its yield right now stands at 11%. But remember, this is an income and growth fund. So you are not going to have huge distributions, but also you're not going to lose your NAV, which is pretty good for people who are interested to have some distributions and also grow their fund by 25% per year. This is one of the best funds because you're going to get more money than even if you invested in the S&P 500. If you are intrigued and interested to invest in this type of funds like GPIQ, there are also other funds similar to this one, and that's GPIX. Is also from Goldman Sachs, but this is S&P 500. There's a QQQI, which I compared to this. There's SPYI, there's a QDVO amplified, and there's also NEOS ETF BTCI. So guys, I just want to make this video to give you an update on a Goldman Sachs NASDAQ 100 Premium Income ETF, GPIQ, because I do believe most people are not aware of this fund and its performance. It's a fund that does not have NAV erosion. So it will be very interesting to have this at least on your watch list and see what it does going forward. If you find value in this video, please smash like button. And if you don't want to miss any of the important updates like this one, make sure to subscribe and hit the belly button. And don't forget to share with someone you think this video may help. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.